Welcome to the Core Experience, your connection to community, business, and the people who make it all happen with your host, Brandon Suba.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Core Experience. My name is Brandon Suba. I am the healthcare relationship manager at Core Bank, but they let me sneak over here to the Hurrdat studio from time to time. I get to do these old podcasts. Today, as we try to get more out into the community and talk about big events going on, we have a very big event that we're going to learn about today. I have a little more commitment to this one than some of the other events. We had the golfing one, and I did golf in that. But for this event, and we'll get a little more into this as we get into the show today, I get to MC this, right?
You do.
I still can't believe I got the job after all the auditions. So super exciting. And there's actually a much larger, cooler presenter that'll be there, but honored.
Honored. But we're lucky to have you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Give you $5 later. Right. Anyways, this is a Core Experience. We're on season 2 here, and like I said, we're trying to bring in professionals and expertise around Omaha and surrounding areas. And needless to say, I've got an awesome guy here today. I've got John Day with me today. What's happening, man?
You know, it's been a good morning.
Good.
Kids starting school, so just starting that routine. But yeah, it's been a great morning.
That's right. We are 1 week until our kids start.
Nice.
And I've got one going to kindergarten, so they're both going to be finally at the same place. But it just seems like an uphill to get them back to school. But the line in the Christmas song, and the parents can't wait for school to start again, that means so much more to me now than it ever did before. But the event that we're going to be talking about today is the Fork Cancer event, and I'm going to let John kind of dig more into that. But John, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what you do at the American Cancer Society?
Yeah, so I am a senior development manager at the American Cancer Society. And yes, I lead many events throughout Omaha and beyond, do a lot of the fundraising, do a lot of the community outreach, and making sure that we are, spreading the resources that we need to provide here in the state of Nebraska, more specifically in Omaha. But yes, the Fork Cancer event that we have coming up is our first time doing it. It's our first annual event here. So we're excited about it, and we're looking forward to just a great event. It's unique, it's different, and again, just glad to have your support, MCing, and all the other support you're doing. But yeah, so do a lot of the fundraising and community outreach and things like that for the American Cancer Society.
And you have a background in community outreach and nonprofit, don't you?
I do. I also worked with the Alzheimer's Association, so I worked there as well. And then my wife and I, we owned a gym for 10 years. So we did a lot of just, community there as well. So just meeting people and helping people and just trying to, do good for our community.
Good.
Yeah.
With American Cancer Society, what services do you provide for families and patients?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand that American Cancer Society has local chapters, in each state, and so everybody kind of looks at us as this big national nonprofit that just a lot of research for cancer. We are the #1 researcher in cancer next to the government. So we provide a lot of that. But a lot of people don't realize how much local impact that we have. So the bigger things that we do is that we provide free stays at our Hope Lodge, right? And so we are lucky to have a Hope Lodge here in town, which Fork Cancer is fundraising for. The Hope Lodge is a place where cancer patients can come to stay for free during their cancer treatment. So we have really good cancer research and rehabilitation and treatment centers here in Omaha specifically. And so a lot of people get referred from all around the country and also all around the world. And we had somebody from Vietnam come to our location and stay at our Hope Lodge. And so they can stay as long as they want, and they can, it could be a weekend or it could be 100+ days. So whatever they need, right? So it's a very, very big financial benefit to them. And that's why some of these events that I put on are very important. We also provide free transportation. It's called Road to Recovery. So patients and individuals, a lot of times in that rural market where they're far away from their hospitals or they're far away from their doctors or physicians, we have volunteers that they get contacted. They're like, hey, this person needs a ride to they don't have a car, they don't have the accessibility, or during the treatment, maybe they're not able to drive, right? So we're able to pick them up, take them to their appointment, and bring them back. So that's a great resource. And we have that all throughout Nebraska, so we're able to do that. And then just the many, we have our cancer.org, we have our 800 number, we have, all these resources and pamphlets and information and education that we're trying to spread throughout Nebraska, throughout our communities that we can do too. So there's a lot of free resources that people don't really understand that we provide in a very local setting. They just kind of think of us as big organizations. So we're trying to really spread the word of, hey, we're here locally. We can help you out.
And you say free for the patient, but
Yes.
not free for you guys.
Right.
And that's why we do these events, is
Exactly.
to raise the money. The Hope Lodge itself, I've had a couple tours now, and we have our meetings there from time to time. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. There's a nice outdoor area. There's a big kitchen. I think the kitchen area is probably the coolest because, again, I mean, these patients are very tired. They're going through a lot. Their bodies are going through a lot. So just to even have that home cooked meal, which I know we've hosted a few as the Fort Cancer Group, and I'm sure others come in and do that. And I was able to make it to one, but it's just cool to see that kind of community come together.
It is, yeah.
And we won't dig too far into this, but in COVID was a big challenge. I think it was the last place I had to wear a mask that we went into, and I get it. Oh, I completely get it. But again, still had the community piece even during kind of those harder times. Yeah. So the Fort Cancer event, what do we gonna kind of look forward to at the event itself?
Yeah, so we're really trying to make this a unique event here in Omaha, and it's a basically a young professional focused event that we're partnering. It's kind of a two-parter. So we're partnering with young professionals in the field that we're hoping to highlight them, provide information, what they're doing, with how much, if it's personally, professionally, what they're doing within the community. They're also helping us fundraise for our event as well. So we get to highlight them at our event. They get to help us fundraise. And then when we get to the event, we have local bands. We have 2 local bands that are playing. So great local music. We're partnering with a lot of local artists in town too. So they're donating, auction items, but they're also participating at the event too. So we have some live art. We have a couple that are pretty interesting that'll be kind of unique that I've been chatting with that are going to come and do some things. So people get to meet the artists. We get to partner with local restaurants, so it's all focused on this very hyper local, community where people can get to know who, where they're going to eat, who they are and what they're doing, who are the artists in town, how can we help, lift people up in our community and really provide those awarenesses to that local community, that local business that we have here. That's amazing here in Omaha. So live music, local foods, good drinks, all that kind of fun stuff. But very much it's more of a cocktail style event where it's not a sit down, eat your dinner and only mingle with the 8 people. Like we're getting you moving around. We're going to talk to people. We're going to communicate. And it's going to be a really great event for people to come to, because I hope they walk away with not only learning more about the American Cancer Society and the Hope Lodge and what we're trying to do, and also the young professionals, but really, oh, I didn't know about this local business. I didn't know about this local restaurant. I didn't know about this. I want to support them as well. So it's really trying to bring that community together where we're all benefiting, and raising that awareness of what we're doing locally.
And I liked when we started, this was very much presented as this is a gala without the boring.
Yes.
It's really what it is.
Sure.
And I love you're not just stuck with the 8 other people at your table, because I've been to many events and I love them. I love going to events.
Yeah.
But it is once the process or once the show starts, you're there.
Right.
And really, you can't even talk that much during that time, where I know, even as we've briefly talked about the script for me as the MC, it's like, we're going to hit on a couple things, but this is more for the event. Yeah. Of course, we'll have our guest speaker, so that'll be a big deal. But beyond that, this is all about networking and getting to know, like you said, the restaurants and the artists. So what restaurants do you got?
Yeah. So we have a strong list. So we knew we were going to be roughly around that, 12 to 15 range, but then we kind of got in our facility. We're like, all right, maybe we can fit 10 to 12. So it was getting our first year. So we're always kind of, wondering how many we're going to get. Right. So we've got some really great restaurants. So again, we've got some food trucks that are coming that are local that come out. We got some restaurants. So the list of our restaurants, we've got Family Traditions Barbecue and Sweets. We've got another Sauce Boss's Barbecue, Taste of Heaven. We've got a nice local like Grapes and Gouda, and then the Barrow's Baking Company. They're kind of going to do some things together. We've got the Cheeseburgers, a takeout joint. We've got Chefs Around the Block. We've got Godfathers. We got Coffee Society is going to come out. Nice. Egg Roll Fix, Blackstone Meatball, Burgers. Sorry, it's that one art. And then we have also Kinara. Oh yeah. And so we've got like I said, we've got food trucks that are going to come out that maybe you've seen at, different events and stuff like that. We've got some long-standing restaurants, that you may know. Blackstone Meatball, you may know. Kinara, you may know. So some places you may know of, and some places you may not. But we got a variety of food. You know what I mean? So when you come, it's not just all pizzas. There's all this, so really trying to get people and just kind of have that variety of food out there so people can get a taste of what we have.
That sounds fantastic. I'm amazed at how well you've brought these restaurants in. I mean, because again, it's their time. And
right.
This is a after evening event, but good exposure for them and some really good sounding food too.
Yeah, we're excited.
Really good sounding. Yeah. So what can people do to get involved with the Fort Cancer event?
Yeah. So first they can go to omahafortcancer.org. So that's the big website, right? So there they can learn about the event. We're updating that daily of our sponsors, our tastemakers, our restaurants, our music, what we're doing the day of. And then more importantly, that's where you buy tickets.
Yep.
So our tickets are on sale now. We've got, you can buy one ticket for $85 or we do two for $150.
Okay.
So again, bring somebody with you, bring a group, have fun with it. But again, it's something that we, when you go to that website and you check things out, I mean, again, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, so you can search us up there as well. We're just trying to update and just kind of let people know what we're doing. But ultimately, that's a great spot for people who are participating with us. Our tastemakers and people in our restaurants, they're getting exposure there too. So hopefully we can bring people to that website and learn more and come and participate.
And I know you specialize in this, like you have history, but I've been amazed at how well you've run this show, bringing the volunteers in, because I think we have a very strong core group.
I agree.
It's not just people that show up. They're very involved and very active on everything. So it's just been really cool to watch this develop, and it's going to be a phenomenal night.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal night. There's not a sponsorship, but there's a tastemaker opportunity here.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about what the tastemaker opportunity is with the group.
Yeah. So we've got a solid group already, and we're obviously still, taking people on, but this is an opportunity for us to partner with young professionals, in the field that are doing great work. We've got some people who are owning their own business, or maybe they're already in the business career, but it's a chance for us to highlight young professionals, because a lot of times when you search up people who are looking for fundraising or donors or things like that, sometimes you look at people who are in the field for 10, 15, 20 years because they've got a staple, they've got a network, they've got, that kind of, higher up maybe status in a sense. But for us, it's like there's a lot of young professionals here. There's a lot of people who are doing really good work. So our goal is to bring them on, help them reach a network, and bring those individuals together, those really good young professionals together to network with themselves. So we partner with them. They get a website, they get a fundraising page, they can blast it on social media, their websites, their networks, they can email things out, they can have parties. We've got one coming up here at the end. She's going to host it at her facility and do a fundraiser and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great way for not only them to do something good for the community, but another way for us to be able to highlight them to do things and bring people to the business, have them learn more about what they're doing. And so it's a great way for us to kind of collaborate in that sense and partner. So young professionals, you're out there, like, we'd love to partner with you and promote what you're doing, because I think we're really working to be intentional and meaningful on that collaborative effort. So we're not just always asking. Nonprofits are always like, hey, we need money to provide our resources. We need this. Can we get this? But how can we now provide you with something that's marketing? If that's getting out there, as providing you a way to do good for our community. So it's just really trying to figure out ways of partnering in a meaningful way, and not just like a one-off. So that's always the goal.
And if you've listened to this far in the podcast, it is really, you have no idea how many people and how they have been affected by cancer. And this year specifically, because I was involved in the leukemia event. It blows my mind that people that are like, oh gosh, yeah, I want to be part of this. Or yeah, I'll buy 2 tickets, 4 tickets, whatever, because my brother-in-law or my sister. Because I think it's a much different emotional feeling when you are either go through it personally or see somebody go through it, because no one signs up for cancer, right? It's just, you get it, and there's options, and the Hope Center, there's phenomenal things that can be done. And I know many people from the business world that come to Omaha for their treatment, because we do have such phenomenal facilities here. So this is one of those, really share this and let people have the opportunity to take part, because it's going to be a fun night. I think it's a very reasonably priced ticket for an event like this. And it's not all, but it's mostly going to go to just phenomenal causes. Phenomenal. Well, let's go back to American Cancer Society just for 1 second. How can people get involved with the American Cancer Society around town?
Yeah, I mean, easiest way is just go to cancer.org, and then you can kind of see what we do. we have so many different opportunities. You can kind of see, obviously, when you get in there, you can kind of search Nebraska, and then it kind of gives you, if you want to look at that. But I mean, there's so many different ways that we can get involved: volunteering, emceeing at an event, doing those kinds of things. But ultimately, we're always looking for help. It's helping at the Hope Lodge. We have people, there are tons of volunteering. We did Cooking Up Hope, where we, provide, an opportunity for companies and people to come out and cook for the Hope Lodge. We have advocacy, so if you're looking at, if you're passionate about cancer and you're passionate about making sure that, we have the resources, we have the funding, we have the ability to, impact local government to a federal government, there's advocacy that you can help out with. If there's other opportunities for you to, just be at the events and be a supporting person as well. You know what I mean? Those are the big things as well, because I think that's what's unique about the Hope Lodge and how what we're doing is great, is because there is that sense of community. They've been through it. They know what's going on. They could connect on a level with somebody who's like, oh yes, I know, or a caregiver or something of that nature. So there's a lot of different opportunities for people. Patient support. I mean, become a driver.
Yeah, there you go.
You can volunteer to become a driver if you have spare time where they're like, hey, I need a ride. Okay, well, I'm a driver now. I'm going to pick you up. I can drive you to your thing and do those kinds of things. So there's, however you want to volunteer, however you want to do it, there's something we can get you to do at the American Cancer Society, because we're always looking for help, because again, there's a need for it. We wish there wasn't, but there is.
Well, I share this story often. My wife wanted us and the kids to go do bell ringing one year and we signed. It was late. It was later in the year. And when we went to go sign up, they were all booked. And that's one that's it's at every Hy-Vee, just everyone knows that bell ringing. So when you can't get into there, or if you're not interested in that, go to that cancer.org, look up Nebraska, because it just sounds like there is a slew of opportunities. And I know even cooking up at the Hope Lodge, I mean, that's something you could bring your family to.
Yeah.
You could participate and let your kids see, or if they're a little older, let them participate and do something good, because it is a huge deal for the patients there. Huge deal. It's something a little different out of their normal that their new normal, I guess you could say. And it really is fun to watch them just light up. Well, John, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Any final thoughts here on the Fort Cancer event or American Cancer Society for us?
No, I'm just excited about the opportunity to be able to come here on this, platform, to be able to share what we do, because that's ultimately what we're all about. Yes, we have to raise money. Yes, we have to impact that kind of thing, but it's ultimately, we need more people to be aware of resources, of how to connect and not feel alone during this cancer process. Because once you get that cancer diagnosis, or a family member does, you immediately feel by yourself, immediately feel alone. So knowing that there's resources, being able to have this outlet to help people understand, to go to cancer.org, research things, contact us locally. We're here locally. We want to support. That's the biggest thing. We need to be able to make people feel like, all right, I'm not alone. I've got a path. I've got this, guide to help me, and let's figure that out. So I appreciate this. This is fantastic. So I appreciate it.
Well, appreciate your time coming on today. And for more information on the Core Experience podcast, you can go to corebank.com/podcast, or you can always email us at coreexperience@corebank.com. If there's maybe an organization you'd like to see on here, or even a bank topic, loan topic, interest topic, whichever one you'd like to hear. And we'd love to bring that onto the show in the future. So, John, thank you again for your time today. I am so stoked for this event. I look forward to it. For all the listeners out there, or viewers, if you went to the YouTube channel to see us two stunning looking gentlemen here, do buy your tickets, spread the word, share with your friends. We'd love to make this a big event, especially being the first one out of the chute. And it's going to be a heck of a good time. So again, thank you, John, for your time today. And for everybody else, I look forward to talking to you on a future podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Core Experience, your connection to community, business, and the people who make it all happen. For more details, go to corebank.com/podcast or email coreexperience@corebank.com. Brought to you by Core Bank, member FDIC. Core Bank is an equal housing lender.